Budget 2021-22. Obviously, what is budget and which article of Indian Constitution discusses regarding budget? Article 112. Article 112 makes President of India responsible that annual financial statement is to be presented in the House. Can you tell me, if I make a statement, the term budget is nowhere mentioned in the Constitution of India. How many of you believe it is a true statement? The term budget has not been mentioned anywhere in the Constitution of India. Yes, it is a true statement. The term used in the Constitution of India for the budget is annual financial statement. That is budget. What is an annual financial statement? Article 112 of the Indian Constitution discusses annual financial statement. As per Constitution, it is the duty of President of India to make sure that budget is presented every year in the Parliament. President of India normally authorizes Minister of Finance, Finance Minister of India to present it on behalf of him. That is why you must have seen this time also when Nirmala Sitharaman was going to present the budget with a red ballot, and he take the ballot, goes directly into Rashtrapati Bhavan, meets President of India, then takes the permission of President of India, then goes to the Parliament and presents the budget. You might have seen in the news, if you are following the news live, and you can see the TV channels will tell you that the finance minister is coming out of the home. They will some statement from her when she is coming out. Finance minister reaches Rashtrapati Bhavan. Finance minister reaches the Parliament and presents the budget, because constitutionally it has been the duty of President of India to make sure budget is presented every year, or the annual financial statement is presented every year. How to study the budget? Obviously, all the matters related to budget. What is a budget? And basically, budget is the annual financial statement for next 1 year. What are the expected or estimated income or receipt of Government of India? What is the total estimated expenditure of Government of India? And how much is the borrowing of Government of India, that is fiscal deficit? For example, personally, I want to prepare a budget for me for next 1 year. What I have to calculate? I have to calculate what is the estimated income for me. From that income, how much will be the estimated expenditure of me for next 1 year? Now, if I have more income than expenditure, how I will save the money? If I have more expenditure than income, how I should borrow the money? This is the budget of an individual. That is also the main documents in the budget of the Government of India, budget of the nation as well. I'm not going to take any detailed theoretical lecture on the budget, and those for the students of academy we are covering in the classroom, the conceptual classes. Now, how the questions are being formed from the budget, especially for the prelims examination, how the questions will come. One thing you have to notice is that any concept or economic term which is mentioned in the budget might be coming in the next time examination as a conceptual clarity question. That is, do you know have you understood the meaning of this particular concept? Earlier also, UPSC has asked a question from the concepts or from the terminologies, from the economic terms used by the Honorable Finance Minister of India during the presentation of the budget. Then those concepts and terms we have to study. Budget, sometimes you might find it very boring to read, because lot of figures will be there, and 100 crore rupees and 1,700 crore rupees for this. No need to remember anything. Forget when you are getting the highlights of the budget, and there will be lot of money spent on different aspects. One thing you have to understand is that budget is not a material for civil services. Budget wants to give information to the people of the country, how much government is going to spend on different sectors or different programs and projects that government is communicating with the people. But for a civil services aspirant, We don't need to take the headache of looking into all these figures. What way questions are coming, that way our highlight of the budget should be prepared. That is why I prepared the highlights of the budget, not in an ordinary way. That highlight you can get if you are going to the press information of Bureau website, if you are going to the finance ministry's website, the official, and instead of copy pasting whatever given in the finance ministry's website or the website of PIB, I have prepared what are the possible way questions might come from the budget. Only that discussion we are doing. I will wind up in some 45 minutes to 1 hour instead of taking a long session telling you all the points again, that you can read from the official website of the government. Here, how a possible question might come, how previously UPSC was doing the questions from these sections, from the budget. That way we are going to have a presentation today, and that will be, this is a presentation on the budget, specifically 100% focusing the aspirants of Indian civil services going to appear the UPSC civil services prelims examination on 27th June 2021. That is the presentation today. I'm not going even the mains aspect, I'm not covering from the budget. Let us see. In the budget, and finance minister, when she was presenting the budget speech, and she in the introductory part, she explained that this budget is focusing on 6 pillars. 6 pillars are the one is health and well-being. That is common. Second thing is that physical and financial capital and infrastructure. Here, health and well-being, that is a common term, and because the COVID-19 situation, government wants to focus the budgetary expenditure on improving the health of the people. Second one, physical and financial capital. Here, we have to understand a term. What is the meaning of physical and financial capital? Capital we can divide into 3. Physical and financial capital, one category. Second is human capital, and third one is the social capital. Then we have to see here in the budget, physical and financial capital and infrastructure, that is second pillar. Then what is physical capital? What is financial capital? Third one, inclusive development for aspirational India. 2 terms came here. One is inclusive development. What is inclusive development? Second one, aspirational India. What is the aspirational India program of government of India? Then aspirational India scheme of government, that is another focus, and these 2 terms we have to understand. Next one, reinvigorating the human capital. What is human capital? Again, 2 types of capital has been discussed here. This budget is focusing on physical financial capital, category number 1 of the capital. Second one is human capital. Second focus is on human capital. What is human capital? Whether, for example, if a statement comes in the examination, the population of human capital, the peace of a society or the peaceful coexistence among the people of the country can be categorized as the human capital of that country. How many of you support this? Is a true statement. The peaceful coexistence among the people of the country can be categorized as human capital. If it is true, please raise the hands if you believe the statement is true. No, it is not a true statement. And what is human capital? Economically, human capital means that the invisible qualities inside a human individual. That is, for example, knowledge of a person, skill of a person. This third one, that example I gave you, it is an example of social capital. In the economics, we divide the capital into human capital, social capital, and physical capital or financial capital. Then out of this definition, the peaceful coexistence among the people of a country, among the population of a country, comes under the category of social capital, not human capital. Then understanding these concepts which are discussed in the budget, sometimes in the next year it might come as a question. Then human capital, what is human capital? Innovation and research and development, that all of us know. Research and development, R&D, and promoting scientific research, development, and production of new innovative products, and either technology products or the physical goods, everything is a part of the budget. Minimum government, maximum governance. That is also another motto of Government of India from the beginning. Reducing number of ministers, reducing the number of officers, and disinvesting, that is selling government companies, and then minimum government. So under government, minimum items will be there, minimum people will be involved in the government, and they will do the maximum governance. Then one thing we have to understand, from these 6 pillars of the budget, we have to understand what is the meaning of these concepts. Economic meaning of this, because budget is an economic document. Then economic meaning of these concepts we have to understand. Second part we have to understand is that for promotion of these pillars, what are the schemes and what are the projects, programs government is going to be implementing. These are the 2 things we have to understand. Other than that, we don't need to go how much money has been given to this project, that project, we don't need to go. If there is any scheme mentioned in the budget, we have to know what is that particular scheme is about. If any concept is mentioned in the budget, we should know the exact economic definition of those concepts. And I will show you some previous demo questions also from these terms and concepts when we are going ahead with the discussion. See, then first let us discuss 3 types of capital. What is a capital? Capital means the intermediating items which is required in the process of production of a final goods. Imagine you need to produce something. You want to establish the factory of this particular mouse. You want to be the producer of this mouse. What are the items you need? You need money. It is a capital, financial capital. You need a land for establishing this factory. That is a capital, visible physical capital only. You need machines for producing this. That is also capital. You need the raw materials. That is also capital. Then physical capital, all these are physical capital. In the physical capital, sometimes it specifically mentions financial capital. Then the budget focuses on developing these physical capital in India. Then what will happen? In India, we'll have, if the physical capital development is there in a country, that country will have large number of goods production. Then we will be able to reach into Atmanirbhar Bharat, whatever required in India, self-sufficient India, whatever required in India, we are able to produce. To reach into Atmanirbhar Bharat, we should have the physical capital with us. Simple, I gave you the examples: buildings, machinery, money, equipments, and raw materials, all these things, and we can call the physical capital. Any new project and requires a significant amount of investment in physical capital. That is why if we want to develop new projects in India, then we need physical capital in India. Then this is why budget has focused on physical capital. It is a way into Atmanirbhar Bharat, because the budget, before budget, government was speaking, Prime Minister in multiple occasions has spoken on Atmanirbhar Bharat, the self-sufficient India. Next one, human capital. What is human capital? That is also required. Ordinary people, we cannot call it as a capital. Too much population, is it a capital? If all the people of India are sleeping and not doing any hard work, not working, they are not capital. In economy, capital is a working human being. And a human being, not working human being, more than working human being, human capital is the capital inside the human being for the work, the talent of a person, education of a person, abilities of a person, knowledge of a person, and preferences, managerial skill of a person. These things we call as human capital. Then capital, physical capital also required, and knowledgeable human beings. An illiterate person, economically we don't call him as a illiterate person without any skill. Imagine, even if an illiterate person is there, he's a good artist, he's a human capital. A singer is a human capital. An engineer is a human capital. A doctor is a human capital. A teacher is a human capital. Then human capital means that the knowledge, and basically more than looking into person, we are looking into the ability of a person, can be called as human capital. Physical capital is tangible, a land, this you can visible. Knowledge of a person, an engineer, can you see that? you can experience it. Then human capitals are the intangible qualities inside the human beings of a country which can be experienced, cannot be seen. Intangible, not tangible. Tangible means the physical capital is tangible. Next one is that social capital. Social capital means that, obviously this term social capital, it is not a part of the budget. Physical and human capital both has been mentioned in the budget. Then I thought that let me show you something on physical social capital also. Social capital is a term which was popularized by Robert Putnam. Economically, we can consider that as networks together, a group of people doing something together. For example, the friendship, and you have a lot of friends, and all this friendship among the people helps to produce something economically that can be called as social capital. And the friendship has an importance in that production and importance in that, then it can be called as social capital. Then peaceful coexistence of the different communities in India, and because of that peace created in India, economic development happens in India, then our society is a social capital. Our peaceful existence is a social capital. And some spiritual group of people, they are spiritually connected and they are doing something productively, and then that can be called as a social capital. For a country, friendship and the peaceful coexistence of the neighborhood and the peaceful coexistence of the different social groups, pressure groups, a political party is a social asset or social capital only. Then these way we call them as social capital. That is why you have to, because mainly we will be getting confused in the human capital and social capital. But social capital, when society is formed, a capital is formed. That is called as social capital. Human capital, the intangible quality inside the one human being, inside the people of the country, we can call it as the human capital. I hope it is clear for you. Yes. Now, inclusive development. What is inclusive development? Before moving into inclusive development, I would like to ask you a previous year question from this portion. Because the physical capital, social capital, and human capital came this year also in the budget. Earlier also, because of the discussion, recently only, because of the discussion on this matter, there was a question in 2018 UPSC prelims examination on human capital. Let us see. Consider the following statements. 2018 UPSC prelims question: human capital formation as a concept is better explained in terms of a process which enables 1. Individuals of a country to accumulate more capital. No, capital here you take money. Money is a physical capital, not a human capital. Increasing the knowledge, skill level, and capacities of the people of the country is 100% correct. Accumulation of tangible wealth, land, machineries, and the money, that is tangible wealth, that is a physical capital, not human capital, not correct. Accumulation of intangible wealth, non-visible health, knowledge, skill of an engineer, you cannot see that. That is called as intangible wealth, and that is also a human capital. Then 2 and 4 only is the correct answer. Now, one more previous year question, that is 2019 question, and we can discuss on the social capital. This is related because of these other two terms, physical and human capital has been discussed in the class. In the context of any country, which one of the following would be considered as a part of its social capital? The proportion of illiterates in the population, it is not anyway a social literates. Proportion of literate in a population is human capital, not social capital. The stock of its building, other infrastructure machines, it is a physical capital, not social capital. The size of population in the working age group, it is a human capital and it is not a social capital. The level of mutual trust and harmony in the society is the only social capital as mentioned among the 4 options. Now see, I wanted to show you only these 2 questions, and these 2 questions will give you an idea how a question might be formed from these. These 2 are the real questions of the UPSC. And it will give you an idea how the questions can be formed from whatever, because the 6 pillars, we will study only the 6 pillars. We will not go inside the meaning of each term mentioned, because every year in the budget, 4 or 5 pillars will be declared by the finance minister. Next year, question comes from those pillars, asking, checking that whether you understood the meaning of that concept. Yes, that is our duty, because otherwise, instead of by-hearting all the 6 pillars, anybody can do, and anybody can by-heart it, but understanding what is the meaning of that. A civil servant, government or UPSC expects that he should be a person having proper understanding of these issues, more than by-hearting skill or memorization skill everybody will have. You'd never expect a question coming like this: which of the following is not a 6 pillar? Which of the following are among the 6 pillars of the budget? Very rarely might come. But in economy, instead of asking you to by heart and memorize the things, UPSC demands from you to understand. Another thing, if you are understanding, you can easily remember also. Now you will never forget that these 2 terms have been mentioned in the budget. Otherwise, if you are going to by heart, after some time you will forget. Now, next term mentioned in the budget is inclusive development. What is inclusive development? And obviously, regarding inclusive growth and inclusive development and financial inclusion, multiple questions have come in the past. I am not discussing all the questions today due to the shortage of time. Now we'll go in a faster way, understanding these things. You can take a screenshot of my PPT, and if you want to read it again. If you want to read it again after the class, because I will not be going by sentence wise. I will give you a conceptual clarity. Then you can read it for the further reading and understanding. I request all of you, you can take a screenshot of my PPT, because sending practically everybody will not be possible. Second thing, I will upload the PDF of this presentation, the PDF of the note. I will upload in the official website of Academy of Civil Services. By tomorrow, you can download it from there, and I will share in the Telegram channel the link on. I will share in the Telegram channel my PDF also. Then those who are in the Telegram channel, you can get it from the Telegram channel. And otherwise, those who are not in the Telegram channel, you can search ACS IAS Academy of Civil Services. IAS Academy of Civil Services. You can search in the Telegram and you can join the Telegram channel. By tomorrow or today night, I will share the PDF of my presentation today in the Telegram channel also. Yes, is it okay? I think otherwise, those who are not in Telegram, you can take a screenshot of my presentation. What is inclusive development? Inclusive development means that economic growth and development that ensures that even poor people are getting benefit of the economic growth. There is 2 types of growth may happen in Indian economy. Only Ambani's, Adani's, Tata's, Birla's are growing. We are not growing. Another way of development is that growth is that each and every person of India is able to enjoy the benefit of the growth. Let corporates grow. Along with the growth of the corporates, poor people are also getting job and they are also growing. And poor people are also unable to have a good sales for their small shops. They are also growing. Imagine the corporate opened a new factory or a new production center in a particular area. In that particular area, if a person is a taxi driver, he will have more income, because a lot of employees from outside are coming, picking up from the airport, dropping in the airport, and dropping them here, and the taxi driver will have a good income. If a small shop is there, now new rich population came in that region, the small shopkeeper will have also good income. A rickshaw puller in that particular area sometimes may be able to earn more money. These workers in the factory, they are going home, coming back from the home, they are going into market, the transportation increased. Then that is inclusive development. In a development and growth, even poor people are included. PM Prime Minister's Jan Dhan Yojana, it was a program for inclusive development, that is including poor people in the banking sector. Ujjwala Yojana, giving gas cylinder, was an inclusive development, including poor people in the development. Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, giving toilets for the poor people, constructing toilets, this is a part of development only for the poor people, inclusive development. Then any development activity, including the poor, health, education, and everything, giving to the poor people, we can call them banking sector. All economic necessities we are giving to the poor people, that can be called as inclusive development. Inclusive development can be done through the technology also. due to technology, agriculture, we are improving the technology of doing agriculture. Poor farmers will get the benefits. Inclusive development. Yes. Then sometimes question will come, which of the following is not a part of inclusive development? Sometimes it will be the technological development will bring inclusive development. Technological development has brought many people who are illiterate people also now sending money using the Google Pay, sending money using the UPI. UPI was an instrument for inclusive development also, digital economy, and making it easy for the poor people, illiterate people, and other people. That is also a part of inclusive development. Now they enjoy. I send the money, my friend got it. Yes, then it will be an enjoyment for them. They will try to learn something and understand something. Then development of agriculture, manufacturing. If we are bringing new manufacturing centers, lot of people will get the job. It is a part of inclusive development. Education, opening new government schools and new government universities, and for small fee, without any fee, poor people will be able to learn and get educated. That is also an inclusive development. Health, government establishing new more medical colleges and the government hospitals, offering free treatment for the patients in India. It will bring the inclusive development. And these are the few examples of inclusive development. Coming to Aspirational India. It is a program of Niti Aayog that is also mentioned in the 6 pillars of the budget. Program of Niti Aayog, National Institute for Transforming India. What is the aim? Aim is that selecting some certain districts. 115 districts have been identified in 28 states. That is, at least one state will have one district. And making the poverty eradication and making the development in that district. That is, initially we are selecting the very poor districts from each state and we are developing that. That is, developing from the bottom will bring the real development. Whenever government declares a scheme, imagine there are 100 poor people. Out of these 100, and some 60% will be poorest of the poor. Very poor, no education, no money, nothing. And almost we can tell that and all dimensional poverty is with them. Health poverty, education poverty, money poverty, everything is there with the 60%. The about top 40% layer will be there in all economic measurements. Top 40%, they are comparatively better. That means they have little bit education, they have little bit skills, and they have little bit knowledge and little bit money also. But whenever a government project comes and program comes for the poor, who mostly become the beneficiary? Who mostly becomes the beneficiary? Mostly the beneficiary becomes the top 40%. Yes or not? Remaining people, even they don't know a project like that came up. I have seen in India, for example, I have seen in India, in multiple places, multiple districts, I have seen there are many districts in India where majority of the village people or rural people sometimes are unable to get the pure drinking water. Pure drinking water. Jal Jeevan Mission has a plan of making 100% Har Ghar Ko Pani and water for each and every home in India. That is the plan. But have you ever seen that? Because for example, my village in Kerala, I have seen that that program has been implemented. Har Ghar Ko Pani and water for every home. In my home also there is a public water tap and established by the panchayats. Coming the money under this particular program, in my home there is we are on the bank of a river, and in the that is why abundant water facility is there, and we have the well, and we are getting enough water from the well. Sometimes in summer some small scarcity will be there. For that we have a nearby tube well. We are taking water from that neighbor's tube well. Still we don't have any much difficulty for the drinking water and water. Government came, panchayat people came and asked us, then you have a free water connection, do you want it? Obviously free, no Indian rejects, yes or not. Why it came in that particular region? Because people are educated. Rural people are there, people are educated. People knows that there is a such program. If the panchayat is not implementing, people will question that. That is why that program came in that particular region. At the same time, I have seen places in India, and if you are going into different states, I have personally traveled across 16 states in India. I have seen places in India where people have to walk 1 or 2 kilometers to bring the water, especially our sisters and women in the village have a big task of carrying water. Those areas this program is not reaching. Why? Those areas, the people who are administering, the panchayat is confident nobody will question us. Yes. Then this is the major problem of implementation of development schemes in India, reaching to the top. Now the Aspirational India. Aspirational India is a program which wants to correct this mistake, and this historic mistake want to be corrected. That is, they want to select the best backward or worst backward districts in India, 115 districts. There they have made a yearly measurement. That is 49 indicators are the 49 indicators, how many schools, how many hospitals, how many people have drinking water, everything. And these indicators, based on these indicators, they will measure every year how much improvement has been done. Then it will obviously, when the poorest of the poor are not getting benefits, then no improvement will be there. That is why Aspirational India is based on 49 indicators from 5 areas as given follow. In these districts, how much health and nutrition is there, education, agriculture and water resources, financial inclusion and skill development for the people, and basic infrastructure. And these things, how far we have been able to achieve in these districts, it is looked into through the Aspirational India or Aspirational District Program. The key elements of the program are convergence of central and state schemes together and implemented in an effective way. Collaboration of the central, state and district level of district collectors. Everybody will work together, state government, central government and the district administration. Competition among the districts driven by a spirit of the mass movement. Out of these districts, they will make a statistic which is performing best in the last 1 year. The district collector of the last performing district will feel ashamed of himself. I am the administrator of this district and my district came in the last. Then every district collector will try to improve his position. And state also will feel, sometimes the news comes, one district in Kerala was the worst performing among these 115 districts. Government of Kerala will be aware, next time it should not be repeated. They will give the strict warning to the officers, because that creates some national shame and people will also start thinking against the government. There's a competition among the districts. And Aspirational India is one of the largest experiments on outcomes focused governance in the world. By doing governance, how much benefit is coming as an outcome, that is measured. How much new people got educated because of the Aspirational India scheme. How much new people got the water facility. We are measuring outcome after implementing a program. Such a largest outcome and experiments on outcome focused program governance is Aspirational India. You got an idea? Might be coming as a question. Earlier also it came as a question, and I'm not discussing the question due to shortage of time. Let me finish. Next one, PM Atmanirbhar Swasth Bharat Yojana. This is a new Yojana. Already Atmanirbhar Bharat is there. And Atmanirbhar Health Scheme. India should be self-sufficient in our health. That scheme is newly included in the budget. Then it is a new centrally sponsored scheme for improving the health system of the country. We can see what are the important components of the scheme. One national institution for one health. National institution, one single institution in the country, and managing the this called as National Institution of One Health. That will control and connect all the government health mechanism in the country. Government medical colleges, health centers, everything will be connecting each other under this institution. Next one, it aims to provide support for 17,788 rural and 11,000, these figures are not important, urban health and wellness centers. They will be monitored and controlled and supported by this organization. For Regional National Institute of Virology, because of the COVID-19 virus, and doing research on virus has become very important at present. That is why for regional national institutes for virology, because shortage of having institutes of virology in different parts of India had affected negatively in preventing COVID-19 in the beginning, because from all parts of India, majority of the parts of India, the virus was sent for testing into National Institute of Virology in Pune. Then why? In Kerala also we were sending to National Institute of Virology in Pune in the beginning. because there was no mechanism to identify this virus initially in India. That is why in future, if any other virus comes, and the present virus also, to bring in the control, and we have to establish institutes of virology all over India. 15 health emergency operation centers and will be opened in India, and these are 2 mobile hospitals in India. Expansion of the integrated health information portal to all states, union territories to connect public health labs. Then health information portal where you can get a lab, where you can have the testing of the virus and other serious diseases. That information will be given in a portal, web portal by government. Regional research platform for WHO, World Health Organization Southeast Asia region, will establish a WHO's Regional Research Institute in India. All these will be implemented over the next 6 years as per the budgetary declaration. Next one, another scheme given here, Mission Portion 2.0. That is, the earlier was a Mission Portion. This program is called as Portion Abhiyan. Portion means nutrition. Then students from Hindi speaking belt, they might be knowing portion and is nutrition. Then this is a scheme for the nutrition and content and making the people nutritious, giving awareness and giving the food for the people and for the nutrition. And the main target of the Mission Portion 2.0 is and to improve the nutrition outcomes across all the 112, and it is 115, budget it is mentioned 12 aspirational districts in India. Next one, scrapping policy. This is for clean economy and clean energy in India. See, we have large number of vehicles. At present, we are using the engines till April 1, 2020. The engine standard for the vehicles was BS4, Bharat Standard 4. You might have heard of that. Automobile sector shifted into BS6 engines in 2020. Yes, that BS4 and BS6 you have to study for the examination because it is another current affairs. My point here is that even we have shifted from this year into BS6. Earlier we were using BS3, BS2, 3 was not there. From BS2 we directly jumped into BS4. From BS4 we are now in the BS6. See, in the BS6, although we came to BS6, only new vehicles will be BS6. The old vehicles still continues to pollute the environment. And that is why government has taken a policy that all private vehicles which are older than 20 years older, private vehicles must be demolished and it should be sold as a scrap. Scrap means the body can be sold, other things can be sold. You can get whatever the metal money and comes that you can take it, and you cannot use it as a vehicle again. Commercial vehicles, taxi vehicles, maximum 15 years. After 15 years, scrap it. Then this is a voluntary vehicle scrapping policy to phase out the old unfit vehicles. And now another thing is that automated fitness centers will be there to test the fitness also. Then this policy has also been declared in the budget. It is a part of green economic policy. Next one, Atmanirbhar Bharat. All of you know what is Atmanirbhar, and we already discussed the Atmanirbhar Sauce Abhiyan. Atmanirbhar Bharat, self-sufficient India. Can you tell me? You can type in the Q&A. And who was the first Prime Minister in India to talk on Atmanirbhar? The term might not be having used. Self-sufficient India. The ambassador, the person who spoken first on self-sufficient India was Nehru, because Nehru implemented the policies also based on the Atmanirbhar Bharat. Gandhi was not a Prime Minister. I asked you who was the first Prime Minister. Then first Prime Minister Gandhi also has spoken on self-sufficiency in India and self-sufficiency of the Indian villages. All these things Gandhi has spoken. Nehru was the first Prime Minister and who was speaking on Atmanirbhar Bharat. That is, the term has not been used. The term has been used by PM Narendra Modi. Self-sufficient India, we experimented that earlier till 1991. That till 1991, our experiment initially was successful, but later it became a failure. 1991, the world has advanced much technologically. Without adopting the technology of the world, without importing the technology of the world, we were unable to move ahead. That is why we went for liberalization, privatization, and globalization. and we open up our economy, then Atmanirbhar Bharat presently also we want to go back into the old theory of self-sufficient India in a new way. Going back to the old fashion of the self-sufficient India, but the way is new. As a part of that, government has declared something in the budget. One, I told you, Atmanirbhar Swasth Abhiyan. If a virus comes in future, we should be able to defend ourselves without waiting for the help of any international country or organization. For this, hiking customs duty. When a product is imported, and for different products, different customs duty in hike has been declared in this budget. For what? De-promoting importing to India and promoting production in India, then we will be self-sufficient. If we are importing whatever we want in China, then we can never be self-sufficient. Sometimes our national flag is also sometimes coming from China. Yes or not? Independence Day, 5 rupees, 10 rupees national flag. And different Indian national flag production is the business in China. They are producing our national flag and we are purchasing the national flag from them and we are giving money to China and they are attacking us sometimes. Yes, then my point is that hiking customs duty. By giving an hiking customs duty, imported products will be costlier and domestic products will be cheaper. Then people will have a tendency to go buy domestic. Next one, production linked incentive scheme. And for different sectors, for 13 sectors of economy, government has declared 1.97 lakh crore rupees in next five years as a production linked incentive. What is the meaning of production linked incentive? A particular sector, for example, and a sector in technology, we are giving them a task. If you are able to produce 5,000 products, we will give you some tax relief. Then they will try to get into that target of 5,000. Then we are engaging, if you are touching the another 10,000 target, will give you more tax relaxation. Then obviously, Indian companies will have a tendency to increase the production. Why? And when they increase the production, they will definitely try to find out the customers also. They will either export it or they will sell in the Indian market. Whatever it is, Atmanirbhar Bharat comes, self-sufficient India will be supported. Then that is another, it will provide the jobs for Indian youth also. And it will create the good size of production in the key sectors in Indian economy. Different benefits will be there for this particular program. Next one is hydrogen energy mission. This mission's details are not available, and finance minister has declared that we will declare in future, and we are planning to go a national hydrogen energy mission. Then hydrogen, using hydrogen and making the energy purpose, and it will be more clean energy is also a part of clean economy. And I want to bring to your notice when that mission details are coming published by government in future before your exams. It will be coming very soon. That was the presentation of the statement of finance minister in the budget. You have to go into the detail of this program. It is anyway, it is a green economic mission. Sometimes question will come, which of the following are the green economy missions declared by, or identify the green economy missions declared by budget 2021-22. Scrapping of the vehicles, hydrogen energy mission are the two major clean economy missions. Ujjwala scheme is an old scheme only, giving gas cylinder for 50 million Indian women, poor women. Gas connection is the plan. Why I brought it here? In the budget also, it has been declared that it will be extended, extension of Ujjwala scheme to cover 1 crore more beneficiaries. 5 crore was the earlier plan. Now it has been extended to 6 crore. Ujjwala is a scheme of bringing light in the kitchen of the poor people by giving them gas cylinder free of cost. Foreign trade and investment, regarding that, the major point is that for Indian insurance companies, up to 74% FDI has been permitted. Foreign direct investment. What is foreign direct investment? Anyway, we'll discuss in the class on the FII FDI theoretically. Foreigners investing money in a scheme in the country. That is foreign direct investment. Instead of foreigners depositing money in Indian bank accounts, it can be called as foreign institutional investments because they can withdraw the money anytime. If a foreigner is investing money in a running Indian company as an investment, he can get the profit only. He cannot tell that my money, let me give me now. Or he has to find out a purchaser to sell his share in that particular company. And he cannot ask them to, I want to withdraw my money, give me my money back. That is not possible. That type of investment we call as FDI, foreign direct investment. Banking sector, regarding the banking sector, and there are two mentions in the budget: Asset Reconstruction Company Limited and Asset Management Company to be set up. Two companies the government plan to set up. One government asset reconstruction company, second one asset management company. What is an asset of a bank? Asset of a bank. What is an asset of a bank? If some students who attend my economic class, please answer the question. Loans of the banks is called as an asset. What is the liability of the bank? Liability of the bank. Deposits of the people we can call it as a liability of the bank. In the banking sector chapter, in the class, those who are students, in the class we discussed a Self-reliant Act 2002. That act has permitted the asset reconstruction company. Now government wants asset reconstruction company means that if there is asset means loan. If there is a bad loan for government, and the bad loan means the person who took the loan, he is not paying back the money, then the loan became a bad loan. Then the bad loan is there. Then to recover that loan, bank can sell the loan to a particular company. That can be called as the asset reconstruction company. Then asset reconstruction company in the banking sector, and it has been mentioned in the budget. And second thing, then Self-reliant Act, asset reconstruction company, that portion of the banking sector chapter you have to revise it. Next is the last point, asset reconstruction company. I told you that they can buy bad loans from the banks and collect them. Such companies are called as asset reconstruction company. They will have built-in professional expertise in this task. It was recommended by Narasimhan Committee 1 in 1991, first time. That has been already existing in India, but a new asset reconstruction company government is going to establish as per the budget speech of Honorable Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman. These are the points I accumulated. I request you to study in such a way. If you are going through budget, instead of memorizing the things, and all other schemes, whatever schemes are mentioned, and in the budget you have to study that. Whatever concepts are mentioned in the budget, you have to study on those concepts also. That is our task of preparing with the budget for Indian Civil Services examination. And I will publish this my budget material exclusively by eliminating all the figures and other things. What exactly we need for Indian Civil Services, I will publish my material by tomorrow in the Telegram channel plus in the website of Academy of Civil Services. All of you can see the website of Academy of Civil Services. ACSIndiaias.com is the website, and here you can download. It will be somewhere visible. I will place the like this. Read our ACS wisdom. Some orange color button or the saffron color button I will place somewhere. Download the budget 2021 and highlights for on what to this. My point is that for budget, what we need to study for prelims.